Good evening, everyone. Today I want to talk about a principle that sounds simple on the surface but carries profound significance. Honesty is the best policy. Honesty is the cornerstone of trust, and trust is the foundation upon which all meaningful relationships are built. Whether it's a friendship, a family bond, or a professional connection, trust allows individuals to feel safe, valued, and understood. At its heart, honesty fosters an environment where people can be open and vulnerable without fear of judgment or betrayal. Without honesty, trust becomes fragile, and the connections we rely on to navigate life lose their strength and depth. And think about any relationship in your life. What makes it meaningful? It's likely not just shared interests or proximity, but a sense of reliability, the knowledge that you can count on the other person to be truthful. Honesty assures us that what we're experiencing is real, that there's no hidden agenda or deception. When someone is honest with us, it's like they're saying, "You matter enough for me to tell you the truth." That kind of connection creates a bond that is both enduring and deeply satisfying. However, the reverse is also true. When honesty is absent, trust erodes quickly. Even small lies can snowball into larger issues, creating an atmosphere of suspicion and doubt. Have you ever caught someone in a lie, even a seemingly insignificant one? It plants a seed of doubt that's hard to remove. Suddenly, you question everything else they've said. The bond you once had begins to weaken, and rebuilding that trust can take years or may never happen at all. Honesty, therefore, is not just a virtue but a necessity. It creates clarity where there could be confusion, strength where there could be fragility. When we are honest, we provide others with a sense of stability and security. They know where they stand, what to expect, and how to move forward with us. This clarity is especially important in professional settings where teamwork and collaboration depend on transparent communication. A leader who is honest with their team inspires confidence and loyalty. On the other hand, dishonesty breeds resentment and disengagement, undermining collective goals. In addition to strengthening trust between individuals, honesty also reinforces our trust in ourselves. Each time we choose to be honest, we reaffirm our integrity and character. It's a practice that becomes a part of who we are, shaping how others perceive us and how we perceive ourselves. People are drawn to those they can trust, those who speak with authenticity and align their words with their actions. Ultimately, honesty is a gift we give to others and ourselves. It might not always be easy, but the rewards deep trust, strong relationships, and personal peace are immeasurable. By embracing honesty, we create the conditions for trust to flourish, allowing our relationships to thrive in authenticity and respect. Telling the truth often requires an immense amount of courage because it exposes us to vulnerability. It's not always easy to admit mistakes, share uncomfortable truths, or confront difficult situations. Yet it is precisely this act of stepping into discomfort that makes honesty so powerful. Being truthful demands that we face our fears, the fear of judgment, rejection, or even failure, and choose authenticity over convenience. This courage to be vulnerable is a strength, not a weakness, and it plays a transformative role in how we connect with others and ourselves. When we are honest, we allow others to see who we truly are. This authenticity can feel risky because it opens us up to being misunderstood or criticized. For instance, admitting that you don't have all the answers in a professional setting might feel like a sign of inadequacy. However, such honesty often builds respect and trust. It signals to others that you are human, willing to grow, and unafraid to seek help or collaborate. Vulnerability, far from being a liability, becomes a bridge to deeper understanding and stronger relationships. The courage to be truthful also extends to owning up to our mistakes. It's never easy to admit when we've fallen short. But it is in those moments of vulnerability that we demonstrate our integrity. A sincere apology rooted in honesty has the power to repair even the most strained relationships. People value transparency because it shows accountability and a willingness to make things right. In contrast, dishonesty in such moments only deepens the divide and erodes trust. Honesty also challenges us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves. It's tempting to hide behind excuses or narratives that make us feel better, but growth comes from acknowledging where we need to change. This self-awareness requires courage because it forces us to reckon with our imperfections. However, the reward is a stronger, more resilient version of ourselves. When we embrace honesty in our internal dialogue, we open the door to personal transformation. Authenticity is one of the greatest gifts we can offer to ourselves and to others, and it begins with honesty. In a world that often glorifies perfection and flawless appearances, choosing to be authentic means embracing honesty as a way of life. It's about showing up as we are, imperfections and all, rather than conforming to expectations or hiding behind a facade. Honesty allows us to connect with people on a deeper level because it removes the barriers of pretense and creates space for genuine understanding. When we prioritize authenticity over perfection, we free ourselves from the exhausting task of maintaining an illusion. Pretending to be someone we're not, whether to meet societal expectations, fit into a group, or avoid criticism, requires constant effort and leaves us feeling disconnected from our true selves. Honesty, on the other hand, liberates us. It gives us permission to embrace our humanity, to acknowledge that we have flaws and make mistakes, and to understand that these imperfections are part of what makes us unique and relatable. Authenticity also fosters deeper and more meaningful relationships. When we are honest about who we are, what we value, and what we feel, we invite others to do the same. This creates a sense of mutual trust and respect. Relationships built on honesty are more resilient because they are rooted in truth rather than illusion. For example, a friend who can admit their struggles or fears is far more relatable and trustworthy than one who always presents a perfect image. Their honesty makes them approachable, and their willingness to be real encourages others to lower their guards as well. Choosing honesty and authenticity doesn't mean oversharing or ignoring social boundaries. It's about aligning our actions, words, and beliefs in a way that reflects who we truly are. It's also about acknowledging that we don't have to be perfect to be valued. In fact, vulnerability is often where our strength lies. When we allow ourselves to be seen as we are, we cultivate a sense of inner peace and self-acceptance that no external validation can replicate. Living authentically requires courage because it often goes against societal norms that reward polished perfection over raw truth. However, it is through this courage that we find freedom. When we let go of the need to appear perfect, we discover that we are enough just as we are. Honesty, then, becomes the path to not only authenticity, but also to a life of deeper fulfillment and genuine connection. Relationships thrive on truth because honesty is the foundation upon which they are built. Lies, even small ones, can corrode trust over time, creating fractures in the connection between people. Honesty, however, reinforces the bond, allowing relationships to grow deeper and more resilient. When we are truthful with others, we offer them the gift of clarity and the security of knowing where they stand with us. In contrast, deceit introduces doubt and uncertainty, eroding the very essence of trust that relationships need to survive. In any meaningful relationship, whether it's a friendship, partnership, or family connection, truthfulness fosters open communication. When people feel they can be honest without fear of judgment or retaliation, they are more likely to share their thoughts, feelings, and concerns. This openness creates a safe space for mutual understanding and problem solving. For example, in a marriage, addressing issues honestly, even when uncomfortable, can lead to growth and stronger emotional intimacy. Avoiding the truth, on the other hand, often results in unresolved conflicts that fester and weaken the bond over time. Dishonesty may seem like an easy way to avoid confrontation or spare someone's feelings, but it ultimately does more harm than good. Lies create a false reality that, when uncovered, can leave the other person feeling betrayed and disoriented. Even so-called white lies can accumulate, creating a sense of distance and disconnection. The moment trust is broken, rebuilding it becomes a difficult and often lengthy process. Once someone doubts your honesty, they may start to question every aspect of the relationship, leaving it vulnerable to collapse. Honesty doesn't mean being harsh or insensitive. It's about balancing truth with compassion. Delivering the truth with kindness shows respect for the other person's feelings while still honoring the integrity of the relationship. For instance, giving constructive feedback to a friend or colleague requires tact and empathy, but the underlying honesty strengthens the connection. It signals that you care enough to be truthful, even when it's challenging. In addition to nurturing trust, honesty also creates opportunities for mutual growth. When both parties are truthful, they can address misunderstandings, learn from each other, and evolve together. Relationships built on honesty have a solid foundation that can withstand challenges, missteps, and the inevitable ups and downs of life. Ultimately, relationships that prioritize honesty are healthier, more fulfilling, and longer lasting. By choosing truth, we not only demonstrate respect and care for others, but also create an environment where both parties can thrive. Lies may offer temporary comfort, but only honesty ensures enduring strength and authenticity in the connections we value most. Honesty is not a single act, but a continuous practice that requires intention and commitment. It's easy to tell the truth in moments of clarity when the stakes are low, but honesty becomes more challenging when faced with complex situations, high emotions, or uncertain outcomes. However, it is in these moments of discomfort that honesty is most important. Making a daily practice means choosing truth not just in the big, life-altering moments, but in the small, seemingly insignificant ones as well. Each decision to be honest strengthens our integrity and sets the tone for how we approach our relationships and responsibilities. When we make honesty a regular part of our lives, it becomes a habit shaping the way we interact with others. It's not something we do sporadically or only when it's convenient. Rather, it is embedded in our thoughts and actions. This consistency makes us reliable and trustworthy, as others begin to understand that they can count on us to speak truthfully, regardless of the circumstances. In fact, the more we practice honesty, the easier it becomes. Over time, it requires less effort because we no longer have to remember what we said or keep track of stories. Our words align with our actions, creating a seamless authenticity that others can recognize and appreciate. Honesty in daily life also cultivates a deeper level of self-awareness. When we commit to being truthful with others, we must first be truthful with ourselves. This means acknowledging our own feelings, limitations, and mistakes. It requires introspection and the willingness to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves. By practicing honesty regularly, we gain clarity about our values, desires, and boundaries. This self-awareness helps us navigate our relationships with greater intention and authenticity, as we can more clearly communicate our needs and expectations to those around us. Moreover, living honestly on a daily basis builds a sense of inner peace. When we are truthful in our words and actions, we no longer have to worry about the consequences of deception. There is no mental or emotional burden of maintaining lies or managing the complexities that come with dishonesty. We can move through life with a sense of ease, knowing that our interactions are genuine and our integrity intact. This inner peace allows us to be more present in our relationships, focusing on the connections we're building rather than on the potential fallout from dishonesty. Honesty has a ripple effect that extends far beyond the individual who chooses to speak the truth. When we act with integrity, we set a powerful example for those around us, influencing others to adopt the same values. This ripple effect can spread throughout communities, workplaces, and even families, creating an environment where truth is the norm rather than the exception. The courage to be honest can inspire others to be truthful in their own lives, building a collective culture of openness, trust, and transparency. When one person chooses to be honest, it can encourage others to follow suit. This is particularly evident in workplaces, where a leader's honesty can create a culture of transparency and trust. For instance, a manager who admits their mistakes and takes responsibility sets a tone of humility and accountability that others are likely to mirror. This openness fosters a healthy, collaborative environment where employees feel safe to express their ideas, share feedback, and engage in constructive discussions. In contrast, when dishonesty is prevalent, a culture of fear and suspicion takes root. Employees may hide mistakes or withhold valuable input, fearful of judgment or reprimand. This undermines creativity, teamwork, and overall productivity. Similarly, in personal relationships, honesty encourages others to be authentic and vulnerable. When we open up and share our truths, whether about our feelings, experiences, or challenges, it creates an environment where others feel comfortable doing the same. This mutual honesty strengthens the bond between individuals, allowing relationships to grow deeper and more meaningful. It also enables the resolution of conflicts in a healthy and constructive manner. When both parties are truthful, misunderstandings can be cleared up and solutions can be found that are based on mutual understanding. This transparency helps to avoid resentment or miscommunication, which can strain relationships over time. Furthermore, honesty can lead to a broader societal impact. As more individuals choose to act with integrity, it can shift societal norms, making truthfulness more valued and respected. For example, in the realm of politics, leaders who consistently demonstrate honesty can inspire a higher level of public trust. In turn, this encourages citizens to be more engaged, responsible, and truthful in their own lives. On a larger scale, honesty has the potential to influence industries and institutions, creating more ethical practices and systems that benefit everyone. Ultimately, the ripple effect of honesty extends far beyond the individual and can influence entire communities, organizations, and societies. By choosing to live truthfully, we not only improve our own lives, but also contribute to a culture of trust, integrity, and transparency that benefits everyone. The more we practice honesty, the more it spreads, creating a world where truthfulness is valued and upheld by all. Honesty does not mean being harsh or unkind. In fact, one of the most crucial aspects of true honesty is understanding the balance between truth and empathy. It's easy to think that being honest means being blunt or saying whatever is on our mind, but the way we communicate the truth matters just as much as the truth itself. The aim is not to hurt or alienate others, but to offer the truth in a way that is compassionate, considerate, and constructive. When we are truthful with others, we have an opportunity to make them feel seen and heard, not judged or belittled. Delivering honesty with kindness shows respect for the other person's feelings and helps foster an atmosphere of trust. For example, offering feedback to a colleague or a friend requires a delicate balance. It's important to share your observations or concerns, but it's just as important to do so in a way that acknowledges their strengths, efforts, and humanity. By choosing our words carefully, we can communicate the truth without causing unnecessary harm or distress. There are times when the truth can be difficult to hear, such as when we must confront someone with information they may not want to accept. In these situations, it's important to be aware of the timing and the delivery of our message. It's not just about what we say, but how and when we say it. A well-timed, thoughtful conversation can make a world of difference in how the truth is received. If the truth is delivered with compassion and understanding, even the most difficult conversations can lead to growth and resolution. On the other hand, if the truth is delivered without consideration for the other person's feelings, it can lead to conflict, misunderstanding, or even a permanent rift. Honesty with empathy also means recognizing that everyone has different sensitivities and emotional responses. What may be easy for one person to hear may be more challenging for another. Being mindful of these differences when sharing the truth helps create a space where people feel safe rather than attacked. It also shows that we care about the other person's well-being, and we're not just interested in asserting our point of view. Ultimately, the goal of honesty should be to strengthen relationships, not to tear them down. Honesty combined with empathy allows us to express our truth in ways that foster connection, understanding, and mutual respect. It shows that we value the relationship enough to offer the truth in a way that is considerate and caring. By being both truthful and kind, we create an environment where honesty can thrive and where people feel respected, supported, and valued. Sometimes being honest requires us to face uncomfortable truths, both about the world around us and about ourselves. These moments can be challenging as they often come with consequences that may not be easy to handle. Admitting mistakes or confronting difficult situations is never simple, but it is in these instances that honesty becomes a tool for growth and personal integrity. While it may feel easier to hide behind a lie or avoid the consequences, the act of being honest despite the difficulty leads to a deeper sense of peace and self-respect. Owning up to our mistakes, whether big or small, is one of the most powerful aspects of honesty. It requires us to be vulnerable and take full responsibility for our actions, no matter how uncomfortable the situation may be. While it's tempting to cover up our errors or shift the blame, doing so only perpetuates a cycle of dishonesty that can ultimately damage our reputation and relationships. Being truthful about our shortcomings, on the other hand, allows us to grow from them. It opens the door to learning and improvement, demonstrating a commitment to personal accountability. People tend to respect individuals who can own up to their mistakes because it shows humility and a willingness to learn. This kind of integrity builds trust as others see that we are not afraid of facing difficult truths and are committed to making things right. The consequences of honesty, while often challenging in the short term, offer long-term benefits that are invaluable. In the professional world, for instance, admitting to a mistake on a project might initially lead to criticism or a loss of credibility. However, owning the mistake allows for the situation to be addressed directly, giving room for a solution to be implemented. Moreover, it demonstrates to others that we value the truth over maintaining a perfect image. This kind of openness can actually increase respect and admiration from colleagues and superiors because it reflects strength, not weakness. Similarly, in personal relationships, while the truth can sometimes lead to temporary discomfort, it is ultimately the only way to resolve underlying issues and build stronger, more honest connections. In addition to the external consequences, honesty also impacts our internal peace. Lies create an emotional and mental burden. They require us to remember details, manage discrepancies, and maintain a facade, which can lead to anxiety and stress. On the other hand, truth frees us from the need to cover up, creating a sense of relief and clarity. By choosing honesty, we are choosing peace of mind. The discomfort we may feel in the moment is temporary, but the integrity and personal peace we gain from being truthful lasts much longer. Over time, this consistent practice of honesty helps us build a sense of trust in ourselves, reinforcing our ability to navigate future challenges with integrity. Honesty may bring its share of challenges and consequences, but it also allows us to live with a clear conscience and deep self-respect. By facing the truth, no matter how difficult, we strengthen our character and set ourselves on a path of growth and authenticity. Honesty is not just about telling the truth to others, it's also about being truthful with ourselves. Self-honesty is the foundation of self-awareness and personal growth. It involves acknowledging our feelings, desires, strengths, and weaknesses without denial or distortion. This level of honesty requires us to look inward and confront aspects of ourselves that we may prefer to avoid or deny. However, embracing self-honesty is crucial for living a life of authenticity and fulfillment. When we are honest with ourselves, we gain clarity about who we truly are and what we truly want, allowing us to make decisions that are aligned with our values and goals. One of the most difficult aspects of self-honesty is admitting when we're not living up to our own expectations. It's easy to fall into patterns of self-deception or avoidance, convincing ourselves that we're fine or that things aren't as bad as they seem. However, this kind of denial prevents us from making necessary changes in our lives. By being honest with ourselves, we can identify areas where we need to grow, learn, or change. For example, if we're struggling with a personal issue or a behavior pattern, being truthful with ourselves about it is the first step in finding a solution. It allows us to acknowledge our vulnerabilities and take responsibility for our actions, which opens the door to growth and improvement. Self-honesty also helps us recognize when we're making choices that aren't in line with our true values or goals. Sometimes we make decisions based on external pressures or societal expectations, rather than from a place of authenticity. By being honest with ourselves, we can assess whether our choices are truly reflective of who we are and what we want out of life. This self-awareness allows us to course correct when necessary, ensuring that we stay true to our path and make decisions that bring us closer to our authentic selves. Another key aspect of self-honesty is accepting our flaws and imperfections. Many people struggle with self-judgment or the desire to present a perfect image to the world. However, true self-honesty involves accepting that we are not perfect, and that's okay. Embracing our flaws allows us to cultivate self-compassion and resilience. It's through this acceptance that we can begin to heal, grow, and improve in meaningful ways. Denying our flaws or pretending they don't exist only keeps us stuck in a cycle of self-criticism and stagnation. Ultimately, self-honesty is a practice that requires courage and commitment. It's not always easy to face the truths about ourselves that are uncomfortable or inconvenient, but doing so is essential for living a life of authenticity and integrity. When we are honest with ourselves, we cultivate a deeper understanding of who we are, what we need, and what we want out of life. This clarity enables us to make empowered choices that align with our true selves and helps us to live with greater purpose, peace, and fulfillment. Honesty is the cornerstone of personal integrity, and it is an essential aspect of building a life of trust, authenticity, and respect. When we commit to being honest, we're not only fostering stronger connections with others, but we're also laying the groundwork for a deeper sense of self-respect. The foundation of a life lived integrity is rooted in truth both with ourselves and with those around us. This commitment to honesty requires consistency, vulnerability, and a willingness to face difficult realities. but the reward is a life that feels grounded, genuine, and aligned with our values. One of the primary benefits of living honestly is that it creates a sense of inner peace. When we are truthful, we no longer have to carry the emotional burden of deceit. Lies require us to constantly monitor our words and actions, leading to stress and anxiety. The fear of being caught in a lie or having our deceit uncovered can keep us in a constant state of tension. But when we live with honesty, we free ourselves from this pressure. Our thoughts, words, and actions align, creating a harmony that allows us to move through life with confidence and ease. This sense of alignment not only brings peace, but also enhances our sense of self-worth, knowing that we are living in accordance with our values. Living with integrity also builds trust both with others and with ourselves. When we are consistently honest, we show the world that we can be relied upon. Trust is a fragile thing, and once broken, it can be very difficult to repair. However, through consistent honesty, we demonstrate that we can be counted on, that our word holds weight, and that we value the relationships we've built. As trust deepens, so do our connections, and the relationships we nurture grow stronger. Additionally, when we are honest with ourselves, we develop trust in our own decisions and actions. This self-trust allows us to navigate the challenges of life with confidence, knowing that we are capable of making decisions that reflect our true values and beliefs. Honesty also contributes to personal growth. By being truthful, we open ourselves up to learning and self-reflection. Admitting when we're wrong or recognizing areas where we can improve is essential for growth. Honesty, particularly in moments of discomfort or self-doubt, allows us to address our weaknesses and work on becoming better versions of ourselves. Without this level of self-awareness, we risk staying stuck in unhealthy patterns or beliefs that no longer serve us. When we embrace honesty, we create space for self-improvement, paving the way for a life that evolves and grows in positive ways. Ultimately, living with honesty is a choice, one that shapes our lives and the relationships we form. It requires vulnerability, courage, and a commitment to truth, but the rewards are invaluable. A life rooted in honesty leads to greater self-respect, stronger relationships, and a deeper connection to who we truly are. It allows us to navigate the complexities of life with integrity and clarity, knowing that the truth, no matter how challenging, will always guide us toward a path of authenticity and fulfillment. In conclusion, honesty is not just a simple moral guideline. It is the foundation of a life filled with integrity, authenticity, and meaningful connections. By choosing honesty, we not only nurture our relationships and build trust with others, but also create a deeper understanding and respect for ourselves. Honesty is a practice that requires courage, vulnerability, and consistency, yet the rewards it brings are immeasurable. It helps us grow as individuals, make decisions that align with our true values, and build a life that is genuine and fulfilling. Though it may sometimes be challenging, the commitment to honesty fosters peace of mind, strengthens our relationships, and allows us to face life's complexities with confidence and clarity. Ultimately, honesty is the best policy because it leads us to live with integrity, form deeper connections with others, and walk a path of authenticity that brings fulfillment and joy. So today I invite you to ask yourself, where can I be more honest in my life? With others, yes, but also with myself. Because honesty begins within. And when we embrace it fully, we not only change our lives, we change the world around us. Thank you.